Well, it's been a couple of weeks, probably more like 4 or 5 actually, since we did anything with the Troopy, and that was due to that knee operation. And if you've checked out those videos on my knee op, you'll see why. Anyway, we're almost back to normal again, walking normally and hopefully getting back into doing stuff. I've got a couple of things arrived in the mail. Let's go and grab those. So we're back to walking almost normally. I still don't have the bend or the flexibility in this right leg. And if you check out those vids, a bunch of hitchhikers. Cobbler's pegs, what purpose do they serve? Anyway, look what we've got. That's the packaging. So we've got half a dozen of these VHT roll bar and chassis. No primer needed, rust and corrosion resistant. Roll and Nerf bars. Frame and suspension. What the hell is a Nerf bar? No idea what a Nerf bar is, but anyway, this is really for the bull bar once we get it cleaned up and kill that rust. The other thing is this, the Nanotech steel seal, which I told you about. Complete with the spray bottle, but this is the stuff here. Let me show you a couple of things. When you're drilling into timber with a high-speed drill such as this, you should not be seeing smoke, and there's a reason why you are, and I'll get to that in a minute. Handle, brake. When you're operating a chainsaw, this is your trigger here, you should be holding on to this handle, not this brake. The brake works when you lock it on like so, and here where it is, it's quite easy when you're using it to lock it if you need to, but if you're holding on to it, not so easy. So it's probably about 45 or 50 degrees today. Well, not that hot, but it feels incredibly hot. I'd say probably in the low 30s, 32, 33, something like that. But I'll check that and I'll put it up here for you. The reason that I showed you those couple of things, so the drill and the chainsaw, was that I wanted to make a comment on some videos that I've seen on YouTube. Now, this is not necessarily a criticism of the makers of those videos, though I suppose in a way it is. It's more a case of not understanding what it is that you're doing with the tools that you've got. Now, I see a lot of videos of, and particularly women, I don't know why it is, that have isolated themselves and are living in remote cabins or remote locations, or camping alone, or travelling in vans. And a couple of things I saw that prompted me to show you those smoking drill and chainsaw brake came from one of those videos whereby somebody was drilling a hole, and it was clear to me that she had the drill running backwards. And that's the reason why the drill bit will smoke, because it's not drilling, it's just simply burning its way through the timber. And the other thing was gripping the brake instead of the handle, or both in this case. But really, if you should want to use the brake urgently, then you've really got to take your hand off, in which case you're no longer holding the chainsaw. You've let go of the handle and the brake to operate the brake. You know, if there's a kickback at that time, it's going to cop you fair in the face. You really ought to have full control of the chainsaw at all times. They're amazingly dangerous machines, and certainly not suitable for people who don't really know the basics, or what might result if or when things go wrong. So, like I said, it's not particularly aimed at anyone at all, but if this is you, or you're inclined to do this kind of thing, just double check what it is that you're doing, you know, and get some advice or get some training or something so you don't do stuff like that. Now, back to the Troopy. As I said, I'm walking very much better, but with 4 to 5 weeks off, it'll be 5 weeks tomorrow actually. Once again, I lose a lot of fitness very quickly. Anyway, we can start off with some simpler jobs, such as pressure washing of the bull bar and the front chassis members, rust treatment of those two things. I might even have a look at doing some welding. And as you know, if you go back to one of my earlier videos, I bought myself a welder, but I haven't welded anything with it yet. And there's a very rusty bar on the bull bar, and I'll show you that. And I wonder whether it's worthwhile just lopping that off, welding in a new bar before I get to the point of painting, so that it's all painted uniformly. The bar is in such a place that it's not going to matter too much if the welding's a little rough. It'll be good practice for me to do some welding there. And once I've painted it, no one will know anyway, because it's all going to be covered by a thick layer of paint. Anyway, look, this is just a brief update. I wanted to get this done today. I'm going to get back inside where I'm running an air conditioner, get myself a cuppa, and I'll get this video edited and uploaded for you. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.